Hello, everyone. My name is Noah, and this is my fourth year going on the Mexicali mission trip. I'm actually a member of St. Peter's in East Point, but my first year, I remember Dave came to Northwest handing out flyers from Mexicali, and I became really interested, so I came to the first meeting, and here I am now, my fourth year done, and I can definitely say that this trip has impacted my life greatly, and it's formed me into who I am today, and it's made me realize what I want to do with my future, which is church work. But today I wanted to talk to you about my Mexicali journey this year, which was very cool and very unique from all the other years, which each year is different from the other. But this year I was at Pastor Damien's site, and it was my third year there. But this year their building was moved, so we were at a different building, but it was the same family. So we had a few of the same kids there, and then we also had a lot of new kids come there too. So that was really cool to continue forming relationships with those who I've formed relationships with the past 3 years, and then also be able to form new bonds and new relationships with the kids this year. But our translator this year, we didn't have an American translator. We had this woman named Star, and she was Pastor Damien's daughter. So she was pretty fluent in English. We helped out a little bit, but it was really nice to have her there. And she's been there my 3 years, and I can definitely say she is one of the most kind and most caring people that I've ever met. And it was just really cool to be able to talk to her more, and I've been communicating with her even not in Mexico as well. So along with playing with the kids this week and sharing God's love through our skits and our songs, on Tuesday I had the opportunity to hear that the following day on Wednesday there was a group of people going to the Mexican prison, and I felt that I really wanted to take this opportunity and go down to the prison and hang out with these prisoners and just share love with them. So I'm going to tell you guys that story real quick. We got there, and it's basically this giant cement courtyard, kind of, with a big awning, and all the prisoners were out with, a lot of them were warming up for basketball, and a lot of the guys that we went with were also warming up. And then from our church, it was me, Matthew, Josh, and Ben who went to the prison. So while Josh and Ben played basketball, Matthew and I went and played soccer. And first of all, I just want to say these people in this prison were some of the kindest men that you would ever meet. And that's not the stereotypical Mexican prison thought. Like, going into it, it's really intimidating going into it. But you start playing soccer with these people, and they're just so kind. They're really encouraging, not the best soccer player, but they're very encouraging. And Matthew and I started talking to this guy named Caesar, and he talked about how a lot of the Mexican inmates were, once they got into prison, their family and their friends and a lot of people they knew immediately cut them off when they go to prison. They don't have visitors, phone calls, mail, anything like that, and they begin to forget what love is. They don't even remember feeling love or anything from the outside world like that. So he told us that the impact that we make in the prison going down just to hang out with them, way bigger impact than we might think. And when we go down there and hang out with them and just playing sports, it reminds them what love is again. And we are extremely appreciated because we made those inmates remember what love is. And even the things that may have gotten them into prison, I don't personally know all the things why they're there, but I just don't think that anyone should go without feeling God's love, no matter what anyone does, and that's just really important to me. So after that, we played volleyball, me and Matthew, and then during lunch, me, Josh, and Matthew talked to this other guy. We didn't catch his name, but he started asking us about our home life and if we had parents or siblings. And he just told us to love them and appreciate them and that was just really cool to hear, and he told us just to live our life and appreciate life and live it to the fullest, but no matter what we do, just give all our glory to God, and he told us, God bless you, and that was just an amazing experience, one of the best experiences I've ever had in my 4 years in Mexico. So yeah, and then the next day was our last day at my church site and Damien's site, and it was a great day, first of all. Like, we brought a piñata and everything, but at the beginning of the day, the kids were at school, so we hung out with the women of the church, and then there was Star, who our translator, her 5-year-old boy was there, and then her niece, Sophia, who was almost 1.5, was there. And during that time when the kids were in school, me and this little girl, Sophia, we became very attached to one another, and we hung out that whole day, basically, and she would follow me around, and we'd hold hands, and we'd just walk around the neighborhood and play soccer and blow bubbles, and she became my best friend there. And when we were blowing bubbles, her mom came out and took pictures of us, and I didn't really think anything of it at the time. And her mom went to go pick her niece up from school, but she came back and she had 2 developed photos of me and Sophia, and she told me she wanted to give them to me as a gift for when I went home. And on the back of the photo, she wrote a message in Spanish. I have it translated, and I want to read it to you guys. It says, "The last day of your visit, and Sophia chose you to be her friend. It is rare that she chooses somebody, but you are special for her, and that's why she chose you to be her friend. God bless you, Noah. May all be well as you travel home. This is a little gift so you remember Sophia. We'll miss you very much." And just getting that gift from her mom, it just brought so much joy into my heart, and just the generosity of all these women in the church who we came down to help them, but little did they know they were helping us a lot more. So then it came time to say goodbye, to everyone. And I think, people had asked me earlier in the week if, I would be okay the last day. And I think I was just avoiding in my mind that this was my last year and I had to say goodbye. I didn't think about it all week until we actually started saying goodbye. And saying goodbye to this church was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. I've grown very close to these people, and I just remember it being okay at first, and I started saying goodbye, and then I picked up Caleb, who was Star's 5-year-old son, and he just wrapped his arms around me, and I lost it, and I started bawling my eyes out, and I just didn't know what to do. I just kept on holding him, and I just remember saying goodbye to everyone, having to crouch down to Sophia and not knowing if I would ever see her again. I just wrapped her in my arms and just cried together, and that was just really hard for me. And then finally, I said goodbye to Star, who I'd grown very close to, and we kind of just held each other in each other's arms and cried, and she said something that I'm never going to forget. She told me that anytime she wanted me to visit her, and she wanted me to know that was where she lived, and that church was my home. And she told me that I was one of her sons to her now. And I just get the chills right now, even thinking about it. It was the most amazing thing I've ever heard from anyone. And I just, looking around and seeing God work through my team and through all the kids there, it's just amazing the ways that God can use everyone. And I can't wait to hopefully see them again, maybe one day. But even when I was sad, I remember something comforting that I found was Pastor Virgi told us that even if we don't see them someday on earth, we're all going to be united in this happiness in heaven one day, and it's just going to be the most exciting thing ever, and I look forward to it so much now, and that's my testimony. Thank you.